Hi, I am Dr. K. Sai Prasad Reddy. Welcome to the subject software testing. Today we are going to discuss about the topics testing team structure and testing challenges and the relationship between testing and the quality and frequently asked questions on these topics. See, obviously this is very important session for knowledge gaining. First, testing the team structure. Before going to this topic, I want to explain the different teams which will work for the project in the IT companies. If there is a project for designing and developing and delivering and maintenance of that particular project, so many different teams will work. What are these different teams? Say, architecture team, software architecture team will be there. That means which includes designers. Software development team will be there. Database administrator team will be there. Business analyst team will be there. System analyst team will be there. QA team will be there. Right? Like testing team will be there. So, solution analyst teams will be there. Like this, there will be a different teams who will work for designing, developing, testing, delivering and maintenance of that particular project. So many teams will involve in each and every project. Not only development team, not only testing team. So many other teams will also involve. Now, testing team is one of the teams which will involve in the project for the testing purpose. They will do only the testing activities. They will involve only in the testing services. Now, so for each and every project, there will be one dedicated and a sophisticated testing team. That means the testing team will work for the entire project. Dedicated testing team. Now, if the dedicated and the sophisticated testing team is working on that particular project, how that team should be? Who are the different members in that particular testing team? And what is the effective testing team? When can we say the team is an effective testing team? All these things should be there. Now, see the testing team structure. If and only if the following expertises presents in the testing team, then only that team is called effective testing team. Then only they can do the efficient testing on the project. So the following are the mixture of the members who will work for the testing team for the project. Now, the first is testing expertise. That means the resources. Here the resources are nothing but team members. Yeah. Here the resources who are having the more experience in testing. Say here the testing expertise is a manual testing expertise. So the manual testing resources should be there. And the tools expertise. That means the software test engineers who are having experience on the tools, like functional tools, non-functional tools, both. So those persons are called tools expertises. They are also software test engineers, but they will do automation testing by using tools. In the first case, they are also the software test engineers, but they will do purely manual testing. The third one is database expertise. That means the resources who are related to database management system or who are related to database engineer. One team will be there. Their expertise in the database concepts. So database expertise people will be also there in the testing team. And the domain technology expertise. What do you mean with a domain? Just a domain is nothing but an area of specialization, like banking domain, telecom domain, healthcare domain, utilities domain, retail domain, right? TMTS domain, automobile domain. Like this, there are so many domains. That the domains are nothing but some area of specialization. So then, if the project is a banking project, in that testing team, the persons who are having more experience in the banking projects should be there. They are called domain expertises. And the technology expertise. This technology expertise will come into picture in automation testing, not manual testing. See, in manual testing, there will be no concept of coding at all. Only in automation testing, the coding concept will come into picture. So, the technology expertise, that means either it may be a Java, or it may be a C project, or it may be a Python, or it may be any mainframes projects. Like this, if that project is Java project, the testing team, automation testing team who are working on the tools on this particular project, they should have at least a minimum knowledge of a technology. That is Java technology. Minimum knowledge, very minimum knowledge. Like, so all these persons, like manual software test engineers, automation software test engineers, database software test engineers, and the domain expertise and the technology expertise, with all these combinations, the testing team will be formed. Then only this team is called effective testing team. Or then only this team can do efficient testing on the project. This is a testing team structure. And what are the different challenges in the testing? See, there are many challenges for testing team. If you take any project in the software company, if you take the testing services, that means testing services means testing areas or testing teams. They will have the many challenges in testing of the project. Just I have mentioned a few here for your better understanding. See, too many combinations of inputs to test. If you want to test any functionality, what do you mean by the functionality? I will take a separate session for the functionality and functional testing. For time being, just I am giving only the outline, just I am briefing. For example, say login is one functionality. If you want to test the login functionality, whether it is working properly or not, what you are supposed to do? You have to test that particular login functionality by using many combinations of inputs. What are the combinations of inputs? First of all, what are the inputs for this login functionality, to test the login functionality? User ID, password. Right? These two are the inputs to test the login functionality. What are the different combinations of inputs to test the login functionality? With this user ID and password, say valid user ID, valid password. What is the result? Successful login. Valid user ID, invalid password. What is the result? Unsuccessful login. Invalid user ID, valid password. Unsuccessful login. Invalid user ID, invalid password. Unsuccessful login. These are the different combinations to test a simple login functionality. Apart from this, so many other testing types are also implemented on the login. Just I am explaining only the functionality, functional testing. Just there are so many other testings are also there. Security testing is there, GUI testing is there, performance testing will come into picture. So many database testing is there. So many other testings are also will be done on the login functionality. That means for one small login functionality, many types of testings will be implemented. Out of this many, just I am taking only the functionality testing here. too many combinations of inputs. Right? Here in this case, at least just many combinations are there, but in some functionalities, some hundreds of combinations will be there. Input combinations will be there. It is obviously it is a challenge for the software testing needs to test that particular functionality by using the too many combinations of inputs. The next is not enough time to test properly. That means when the testing will happen, the testing that is static testing will be implemented from the beginning of the project limit. And what about the dynamic testing? When the dynamic testing will start? After completion of the requirements gathering, after completion of analysis, after completion of designs, after completion of coding, after completion of unit testing, after completion of integration testing, then the system testing will come into picture. With respect to dynamic testing, I am telling. Until then, what you are supposed to do? You have to do the static testing. And after system testing, UAT will come into picture. After UAT, release of the project to the client. So you will not find enough time to test that particular project properly. And sometimes there will be a slippage in the schedules of the project. For example, for any project, say example for better understanding, I am explaining this example. For example, for the testing of that particular, to complete the entire testing activities on a particular project, there is a 5 months time. Due to this delay in the project, from requirements gathering, analysis, design, coding, unit testing and integration testing, then only the system testing will start. So there is some delay in this project, in these stages. So obviously that instead of 5 months, you are supposed to complete that testing in 2 months. There will be no enough time to test properly. This is also one of the challenges for the testing team. And difficulty in determining the expected results of each test. So here, if you want to do the testing, you have to have the expected results. You have to determine the expected results. You have to derive the expected results. From where you will derive these expected results? You will derive these expected results from requirements. Sometimes, due to some ambiguity in the requirements, or due to the incompletion in the requirements, due to the incorrectness in the requirements, due to so many reasons, sometimes in some requirements it will become very difficult to determine the expected results. If you are unable to determine the expected results, what will happen? You cannot do testing. Because if and only if the software test engineer is having expected result, then only he can go for testing. Otherwise he cannot do testing. So this is also one of the testing challenges for software testing team. And the last and very important is non-existent or rapidly changing requirements. Sometimes there will be a gap in the requirements. The dependency will be missing, non-existent, or rapidly changing requirements. Sometimes before freezing the document, even after freezing the document, VRS document, the requirements will be changed. That client will raise a request to change the requirements, to modify the requirements, to add the new requirements. Right? So this is a rapidly changing requirements. Why this client will give this requirement, changing of requirement, request for changing the requirements? According to his market, according to his business in the market. So this is also, if at all, if they are keep on changing the requirements, when the software testing team will complete the testing? They cannot. This is also one of the testing challenges for the software testing team. So these are all the different testing. Apart from this, so many others are there. Just I have focused only these 4 points, which are major testing challenges for the testing team. Too many combinations of inputs to test and not enough time to test properly. If there are too many combinations of inputs to test, and if not enough time to test properly, then what will happen? Even though there are many combinations of inputs for testing, even though if you are not having the enough time to test that project properly, you have to meet the quality of the project. You have to do the better testing. You have to do the best testing. If you are not having enough time to test the entire project properly, then what you are supposed to do? The most important principle is you have to prioritize the tests. Prioritization will come into picture. If the software testing team is not having enough time to complete the testing activities on that particular project properly, the testing team has to prioritize the tests. This is very important principle for the testing interview as well as for your real-time concept. Very, 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 very important. Prioritize. The entire testing team, each and every software test engineer has to prioritize the tests. What do you mean with the prioritization of tests? What do you mean with the priority, importance, giving the importance? The entire test has to be prioritized in 3 categories. One is high priority, medium priority, low priority. High priority tests will be tested first. Medium priority testing will be done for the next, and the low priority test will be done on the last. That is, which test has to be executed first, which test has to be completed next, which test has to be completed last. This is called prioritization. How you will do the prioritization? See, we have already discussed, earlier we have discussed, who is said to be a good software test engineer. There are some characteristics to become a good software test engineer. Now, judgment skills is one of the good characteristics of software test engineer. Judgment skills. You have to judge. You have to decide which test has to be given high priority, which test has to be given medium priority, which test has to be given low priority. Generally, the prioritization of tests will be done based on the requirements. Even in the requirements also, in the BRS document, for each and every requirement, there will be a prioritization. See, what you are testing, you are testing each and every requirement. For example, say in the project there are 500 requirements. Requirement 1 is the low priority. Requirement 2 is highest priority. Requirement 3 is medium priority. So like this, the requirements itself will be categorized into priorities by the author of that BRS document, by the business analyst. If you are doing testing on the requirements, whatever the testing that you are doing on the requirements, the same, whatever the priority that is assigned to the requirements will carry forward to the tests also. For example, in this case, requirement 1, it is the low priority. Now the test which is performed for this requirement 1 is also low priority. If we are doing testing on the requirement 2, then for this requirement 2, the priority assigned by the author is high. When you are doing testing on this requirement 2, obviously that test will come under high priority test. And you are doing testing on the requirement 3. What is the prioritization of the requirement 3? Medium. If you are doing testing for the requirement 3, the same priority which is assigned to that particular requirement, that is medium, will be also there for testing. Like this software test engineers has to prioritize the tests. Why you have to do this prioritization? Because you don't have enough time to complete the project. You don't have enough time to test that entire project properly. Then what is the problem? Whenever you are going to stop testing, you have to done the best testing in the time available. That is the concept of prioritization. This is very, very, very important for your interview purpose as well as for your real-time concept. So, what is the use of prioritization of the test? Because whenever you stop testing, you have done the best testing in the time available. According to the prioritization, high priority test will be done first, medium priority test will be done next, and the low priority test will be done last. Whenever you stop testing, at least you have to complete a high priority test and a medium priority test. Whenever you stop testing, you have done the best testing in the time available. That is the concept. That is why the testing team will prioritize the tests when there is no enough time to test the project properly. This is very important. Testing challenges. Yeah. And what is the relationship between testing and quality? It's very important. The quality. What do you mean by the quality? What do you mean by the quality? The degree of perfectness. The degree of perfectness, the level of perfectness is nothing but a quality. See, if you go to the any vegetable market, if you are purchasing the vegetables, what you will do? You will before selecting that particular vehicle vegetables, what you will do? You will test. You will take that vegetable into hands. For example, say tomato. You are purchasing tomato. What you will do? You will not blindly purchase the tomato. What you will do? You will take each and every tomato and you will look into that tomato for are there any damages? Is the color is full? Is it the shining is full? Is the size is okay? Like this, what you are doing? You are doing testing. For what purpose? For quality. Right? So, if and only if you have satisfied, then only you will purchase those tomatoes. That is degree of perfectness. If and only if the tomatoes are perfect, then only you will pick those tomatoes. Right? So, what do you mean by quality? Quality is nothing but the degree to which the component, that is component means functionality, a system or process meets specified requirements or client expectations. As per your requirements only you are purchasing tomato. As per your expectations only you are purchasing tomato. If and only if those tomatoes are meeting your requirements and expectations, then only you will accept that particular project by the client. If there is no quality in the project, the client will not accept that project. And what will do? He will put a file or he will file a case in the court of law. So the quality is the degree to which a component or a system or the process also, whatever the procedures, whatever the strategies, whatever the plans, whether they are meeting the specified requirements or the client expectations or not. This is quality. So what is the relationship between testing and quality? Because testing measures the software quality. How? See, during the testing what you are doing? You are finding the defects. You are finding the faults. You are finding the bugs. After finding the defects, what you are doing? You are reporting those defects. After reporting the defects, what they are doing? They are removing the defects from the project. If the defects are removed from the project, the quality will also increase. I repeat. Once the software test engineer finds the defects or faults, he will report those faults or the defects to the concerned team. The concerned team will remove those defects from the project. If they remove the defects from the project quality will increase. Right? So, if and only if they remove, they rectify, they resolve, they fix the defects from the project, then only software quality will increase. Simply finding the defects and reporting the defects will not help you in increasing the quality of the software. After finding and reporting the defects, the concerned team has to remove those defects from the project. Then only the software, the project quality will be increased. Right? Obviously, if the quality of the software is increasing means possibly reliability also will increase. What do you mean by the reliability? We have already discussed the probability of getting a failure of the operations in a fixed schedule time, in a fixed environment, under fixed conditions. This is the relationship between testing and the quality, right? Yeah. And what does a testing test? What the testing team will test? Testing team will test the system functions, the correctness of operation, non-functional qualities like reliability, usability, maintainability, reusability, testability, etc. These are all the things that the testing team will cover while performing testing on the project. That means the testing team will do both the functional and the non-functional testing. Both the functional testing and non-functional testing. What are the non-functional testing? Reliability, usability, maintainability, reusability, testability, etc., etc., etc. Right? Yeah. Now see here, these are the frequently asked questions. Which of the following is not a quality characteristic listed in ISO 9126 standard? Yeah. Functionality, usability, supportability, maintainability. Which is not a quality characteristic. Yes. Yes. Functionality is not a quality characteristic. What you are doing functionality? I already explained. Functional testing. Taking one functionality, giving the inputs, and testing that particular functionality. That's all. So functionality will not come under quality characteristic. Usability will come under, supportability will come under, maintainability will come under, reusability will come under, testability will come under. So all these things will come under quality except functionality. Which of the following statements is an example of testing contributing to higher quality of the product? Yeah. See, these are all options. Test leader writes a test summary report. Project manager asks to a test leader to estimate the test effort. Tester installs a test item in the test environment. Tester finds a bug which is resolved prior to release. Which will contribute to higher quality? Very simple, very simple. Option D is the correct one. Because if and only if the found defects are resolved prior to release, before releasing the project, then only the quality will increase. What about the rest of the options? These are wrong. Test leader writes a test summary report. What is there? Will it contribute to high quality? No. Simply what he is doing, the lead is writing the test summary. Project manager asks the test leader to estimate the test effort. That means it's only the estimations. Tester installs a test item in the test environment. Yeah, after installing the test item, what will happen? He will do testing. That's all. So the ABC is wrong. Option D is correct one, which will contribute to higher quality of the product. Pick the best definition of the quality. Quality is job one, zero defects, conformance to requirements, work as designed. See here, option D is the correct one. See here, I have observed in some exams, for this question, they have given both option C and D. If conformance to requirements and work as designed both are there as an options in the question, you have to choose work as designed. If a work as a designed option is not there, then you have to choose conformance to requirements. You have to observe this point. You have to remember this point clearly. I repeat, in some exams, for this question, I observed that they have given, in these options, they have given the conformance to requirements as well as work as designed. Both options are present. If these both options are present, then you have to choose work as designed. If work as designed is not present, and in the rest of the options conformance to requirements is there, then you have to choose the conformance to requirements. Right? Yeah. Next. Who is essentially responsible for the quality of a product? Yeah. See, this is a tricky question. Who is essentially responsible for the quality of the product? Customer, QA manager, development manager, none of them. Customer, that means client, he is not responsible for maintaining the quality of the product. QA manager, that is quality assurance manager. So he is also not responsible, because the QA manager will check the application, will validate the application, whether that application is having the quality or not. Who is responsible to provide the quality for the product? Development team and development manager. So if they are doing the effective coding, if they are doing good coding, then obviously you will expect the quality of the product. So development team, here in this case, the development manager is responsible. Essentially he is responsible. After development manager only, the rest of the people will come into picture. So development manager is essentially responsible for the quality of the product. Which one is least important out of the following? When your company is not aligned to any quality standards and procedures. Yeah, that means if your company is not aligned to any quality standards and procedures, if they are not following the standards and procedures, which is the least important? IEEE test documentation, ISO quality attribution guidelines, that is CMM, and BS 77XX, testing standards and test process. See, option is IEEE test documentation, because with respect to documentation, IEEE has framed some standards. IEEE has framed some procedures. These standards and the procedures should be satisfied by the testing team as well as the development team as well as the entire project team with respect to their documents. Right? So IEEE has designed and framed some standards and procedures with respect to documentation only. Right? So obviously option A is correct. Yeah. Quality is conformance to requirements, increases with the decrease in bugs detection, indicates the stability of the project, all of the above. CSC, which I have already explained. So option is conformance to requirements, because if the conformance to requirements is there, then you have to choose. If both conformance to requirements as well as works as a design is, you have to choose the works as design. And the rest of the thing are wrong. Why? Increase. Yeah, quality is increased with a decrease in the bug detection. If the bug detection is decreased, that means if you are finding the few defects, is it possible to find the more is it possible to increase the quality? No. If and only if you find more number of defects, more and more number of defects, then only you can increase the quality. That too, then if the defects are resolved, rectified, and the quality indicates the stability of the project. No. All of the above. So conformance to the requirements is the correct option. Right? Yeah. Please subscribe my channel and share my videos to all the students and students groups who are trying, who are in job search, and as well as like my sessions. And please don't forget to raise your comments. Please raise your comments. Thank you.